Hey Chris, Greg here. I'm in the greenhouse I told you about. I think I told you I got a guy I know has a greenhouse. He doesn't really use it for all that much, and so I've been starting. Last spring I started my plants in here, and figured I'd show you what I'm doing in here the last couple of weeks. But just for the heck of it, let me just show you. All right, this stuff over here, believe it or not, has wintered over. That was from the from last season. You can see some parsley there. Looks a little worn, of course. And there's some Swiss chard. Back there is kale. And then you can see a little bit of, there's some green onions, some lettuce, and just the last of the lettuce. Looking pretty shot at this point, but it's you know, it's after mid-February already, and looking forward to next year. But here's some of the stuff I'm doing. I'll put this, see these hoops? I'm going to cover that with plastic, and I'll show you what that looks like afterward. The whole idea behind a greenhouse, you know, this greenhouse here is, it protects it from the wind and the cold. And then during the day, the sun beats on it, and it gets all the solar energy and the heat, and then it retains it at night. So it'll be down below freezing tonight in here. Not in here, but outside. But it won't freeze in here. And then I've got a double layer of plastic. So we've got the big layer up there, and then I'll put another layer in case it gets very cold around this stuff, and that'll keep it from getting below freezing for some pretty low temperatures. Here's just some miscellaneous stuff I have. Nothing coming up in here yet. I think I put spinach in there. They're not germinating yet. Some carrots growing in there. There's some rosemary, which I've really had in the house all winter and doing pretty well. But down here, some interesting. These are all this year's seedlings. Over here, that's lettuce. And then over here you have some broccoli and some cabbage, kale, and cold loving. Back there is some Swiss chard and some more lettuce, and then some more lettuce back there. And then here are just a few other plants. This is some sage, which is a herb that I didn't think was going to live, but it's managed to survive the cold winter so far, so it might make it to summertime. And these are just some chrysanthemum cuttings that I wintered over in here, and they should start growing pretty soon. So it's, let's see if you can see it here. I guess that says it's 44, 45 in here now. It's outside it's probably 30 and windy as heck. It might even be lower than 30 outside now. So anyway, that's the greenhouse I mentioned to you before, and bear with me for a second, and I'll try to put this plastic on top with one hand so you can see what I've been talking about. That, my friend, is pretty much it. Just drape it around all the sides, and that, believe it or not, that's all you need for some protection against some real cold. And these things should survive some cold weather. And I'll have a real good start on cold-loving stuff like beets and lettuce and Swiss chard and broccoli and those sorts of things. Get a good head start on that for the springtime. See ya. Happy gardening.